Introduction.
Alright, as I was doing that opening lick, I realized, because I haven't been playing guitar for many months, I've been so busy at work, I haven't been chewing my fingers, which means my nails are long, which means I kept messing up the lick and did a million takes, and I too get stage fright in front of the camera. I just cannot be myself. It's just so difficult. So I can relate fully to how you feel with that. And then doing this for you, just a little explanation, it can be done like really quickly, but for example, the lighting was bad and I didn't want to do the video for you this way, so I have chains holding this like seasonal depression light, sad light, and it was really hard to do. And when I had it full blast, it was white, but I was so bright there was glare, so I had to put it lower. But when I put it lower, it makes my skin yellow, like I have jaundice. I wonder if I can just focus the camera, see if that gets rid of my liver disease. As you can see, the other lights that are over there are making a line here, which is a nice white. That's the color that I would want it. So I spent about an hour fucking around. And then after I clip my nails, so with this lesson, you're going to need to clip your nails and file them to get rid of the rigidity. And because of my OCDs, I can't have fingernail dust on my fingers when I play guitar. So I have to go wash my hands, but I live in a house where I'm uncomfortable. It's a commune with people I'm kind of getting like stalked and harassed by a certain person. And I don't want to go downstairs and wash my hands because the person comes out and begins to harass me, and it's very uncomfortable where I live now, and I'm constantly on edge, which doesn't exactly help with the anxiety, but that's what divorce is all about. But anyways, here's the lesson. It can be intimidating at first to see such a thing, and that happens to me all the time. But what ends up happening is I have my phone hooked up to a screen so I can see what I'm shooting, because the front camera is better than the back camera. This is my one day off, and I'm gonna devote it to you because that's what life is all about. Although I'm not able to pay things forward in big ways, I can still have the ability to use what I do have to pay things forward, and with the talents that I am gifted with, for people who are grateful to receive such a thing. It's my pleasure to put the time aside, and it's probably a healing thing for me as well, because I would have otherwise been flipping on Tinder or Facebook, right? So this is more of a communal, I don't feel like I'm sacrificing any time, because any time that I would be spending alone would be a dark place. So this is like I'm more than honored to be able to send this your way. Now, when you say lick, I'm not exactly sure, or riff or whatever, I'm not exactly sure what that's pertaining towards, your expectations, if it's like electric guitar or acoustic. But since you shared finger picking with me, I figured it's a good place to start. So bear with me and set some time aside, and we'll see how it goes. I'm going to be breaking this up into sections, because that's my style of teaching. My guitar is set up, the neck is set up, the angle of the neck is set up, and the bridge is filed in, and the nut is filed in the way that I have thicker strings on, which allows me to down tune the entire guitar to D standard. So you can either down tune your guitar to D standard, just like regular tuning, but everything is down one whole step. So that would be D, G, C, F, A, D. And or I could put a capo on, but that's going to screw up what you see here because I'm going to be shifted 2 frets up. So there, I don't want to tune my guitar up because it'll pull the neck and it'll be, the strings will be, the action will be higher and it'll make it more difficult for me to play.
Example 1, finger picking.
So the first thing is the finger picking part. It's okay to have long nails for this type of thing because that's more like flamenco style, like having picks. As you can already see where I'm laying quite comfortable. I don't float when I finger pick. I anchor this part of my hand is usually anchored somewhere on the bridge and here. If you're not used to that, you can either practice the way I show you or just do it the way that you are normally used to and your muscle memory already has developed on its own. We are not going to use the E string, which is now tuned down to D, but I'm still going to call them the normal names because that's what's quickest to remember. It'll be thumb on the A string. Thumb, 1, 2, 3. Those are the numbers of the fingers. So the way you're going to go is you're going to go thumb, 3, 2, 1. Thumb, 3, 2, 1. We're not using our pinky. So these 3 fingers are going to be on the high E string, the B string, and the G string. And I know how much you like that one. Thumb, E, B, G. Thumb, 3, 2, 1. Remember, 3, 2, 1 are the fingers, not the strings. I'm going to name the names of the strings. I'm going to name the numbers of the fingers. So once you get used to that, you're going to switch strings with your thumb. So the thumb's going to go on the A string. You're going to drop the thumb down to the D string. You're going to drop the thumb down to the G string. And you're going to run into a problem right there. Because your thumb and your first finger are going to share the same string for a split moment. It's in country western music, it's called chicken picking. That's on the same string. Thumb first, thumb first, thumb first. You're alternating. And country western players are really good at chicken picking. Thumb, 3, 2, 1, thumb, 3, 2, 1, thumb, 3, 2, 1, thumb, 3, 2, 1. A, E, B, G, D, B, E, B, G, G, E, B, G, D, E, B, G. So your thumb is going A, D, G, D, A, D, G, D. If you're floating, you're not able to do this without looking. You're not going to be like a blind person who knows his muscle memory of his way around the room. Floating above here, if you're doing it that way, that's okay, but that's where some of your problems may be, which will force you to look here, which will make you fuck up here. So I highly suggest anchoring, because I don't know if I can do it floating like that, like not resting my wrist. I don't know if I can float like that. But if I shift my body, I'm screwed. So anchor it.
Chord progression.
Now we're going to move on to the chords. And you might know the first chord because
Metallica uses it in Call of Cthulhu.
it's almost like the Stairway to Heaven chord. So, first finger, it's still 1, 2, 3, 4. First finger, string G. I always say string G because G string sounds funny for kids. First finger, string G, 5th fret. Third finger, string D, 7th fret. Second chord, you're going to hold this chord and take your pinky, string finger 4, and put it on string A, 8th fret. If you don't have the stretch, then you're going to have to do what classical players do, and your wrist is too flat. You need to drop your shoulder down, which allows your wrist, rather than being up here, it allows your wrist to come around and your fingers will stretch as further than you believe your fingers will want to stretch. My thumb placement behind, naturally I do it right about here. You don't want it here. You want it anywhere where behind where the fingers are playing to get maximum grip. Over here, you're killing your energy and you're going to strain yourself. If you prefer to do this in classical position, this actually might omit or eliminate, like I'm talking about in between the legs, as opposed to the way I play. This is actually this way is actually a lot more healthier. There's less strain, and it helps you bring that wrist around. Don't go too far. That's a straining as well. Find where it wants to relax naturally. That's chord number 2. The third chord, you're going to take finger 2. It hasn't been used yet. You're going to put it behind finger 3. This is the transition into the chord. The way I do it, you don't want to do it all at once. You do kind of like you're dancing with it. And while you're finger picking, the in-betweens are not going to be noticed. It's just going to kind of like disappear naturally. You don't really hear that you're switching transitionally through the chord. So your second finger is going to go behind the third finger on the same string D. Your third finger is going to go up to string A. That's now behind the pinky. And the pinky is going to drop down to string G. They're all on their own string. To recap, you got your Metallica chord. Pinky goes to the A string on the 8th fret. Second finger behind third finger up, pinky down to string G. And then you continue back to the first chord. The way I transition to the first chord, you just drop the third finger down one string. And you release finger 2 and finger 4. Metallica chord. Pinky. Second finger behind, third finger up, pinky down. It's it's pretty quick when I do it. It's like those 3 fingers, they don't go at the same time. They don't go. You're gonna fuck up. Just relax. Behind, up, down. Fuck. Behind, up, down. Woo! Fuck up. So you're gonna want to sit there and practice just strumming those 3 chords separately from the finger picking. You're gonna sit there and practice the finger picking. You're gonna practice the chords. And basically, you know Santana's song as well. What is that song called? Smooth? Yeah. Alright? You got it?
Outtakes, yay!
Take fucking 6! God damn it! Ah! Fucking camera. Fucking camera.